Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited. I have, full disclosure, I like to say Gina Hoensheid with me, and she is one of my brand new clients. And I love when I get to introduce a new client. And more important, I love that I'm introducing Gina because she has a product that we all are going to need to have, and need to have in our purses, our cars. It's We're going to introduce it today, but Gina came up with this idea. She's a mom of two. I'm going to let her really talk about how she came up with this idea, but I want you all to listen. I want you to share the seat sitter because she came up with this idea long before COVID. And that's what I find when I met her, the most brilliant part of this, that you were traveling. So welcome, my friend. But you were traveling and everybody was, we get on these airplanes. Like I wore this today for you because when I get on an airplane, this is what I do. I would cover myself and go like this long before COVID because I am the person who gets on a plane and I see the person in the terminal coughing the hardest, and I go, yeah, he's going to sit right next to me. He's going to sit next to me, behind me.
Yes, exactly.
And so tell me how did a mom of two come up with seat sitters? And everybody, don't turn away, but you're going to go to seatsitters.com.
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure, and I'm excited to tell a little bit more about my story and about my product. So it is true. I thought of this literally over 8 years ago, and it was pre-pandemic. And as a mom, I would do anything to keep my children healthy, as I'm sure most moms do. But what I found is whenever we traveled, whenever we fly to Florida or the Bahamas or any family trip, one of my kids would inevitably always end up getting sick, a cough, a cold. Sometimes it would turn into the flu. And I kept on noticing this pattern over and over again. And I thought, this is crazy. Like, what is going on? So then I started doing some research and just thought, what can I do to keep my kids healthy when we go on vacation so that they're not sick the first couple of days of vacation? And when we come home, they're not sick on the getting back to school and their routines. So I did some research on the internet and did some research on airplanes and found out just how many germs are on airplanes. And I went to kind of find out what can I do so that when we travel, we stay healthier. So after learning about airplanes, I learned that there's several germs on there that are present, like E. coli, MRSA.
And it's interesting that you say that because long before COVID, we did have lots of news stories or lots of conversations about those trays. It always started, we'd always hear about the trays. And you would see people on an airplane who would get on and wipe down the trays. I mean, I confess, I was not one of those people, but I would look over and there were people who would wipe down their areas. And I would think, oh, that's kind of smart. I'm sitting there with my, like not touching anything, but.
Exactly. And I'm personally not a germaphobe at all. And I would see those people, but I just thought, oh, they're just cleaning it because they're a germaphobe.
Right.
Then after doing the research and finding out how often airplanes are cleaned, how much stuff is left on the seat, the tray table, I realized that the tray table is one of the dirtiest places, the armrest, the belt buckle, the TV monitor, everything around your whole entire area. So I thought there has to be a better way. How can I keep me and my family healthy whenever we go? Right. So from there, I thought, what can I come up with when we travel that'll help us? So that's when Seat Sitters was kind of born, before I even named it, I thought, what are all the places that would have to be clean for us to stay healthy on a plane? So that's how Seat Sitters came about, trying to keep my
So
family
did
healthy.
you just sort of, as a mom, like almost pack that diaper bag kind of concept? Like I know, like when I used to travel, I won't confess which child, but I had one child that was not the best traveler. So I used to have extra
Mhm.
clothes, extra. And so were you just sort of packing a bag of, extra wipes, extra things, and that sort of how this kit came together?
Yes, yes, exactly. And I just thought about what spaces are we sitting on? What
Mhm.
areas need to be clean when we travel? Um, so I kind of came up with a list of items that I would use and I thought would cover all the areas good enough, and convenient enough, because traveling, there's always a million things to
Right.
pack. I want it to be
And
convenient, easy.
so taking that idea, you're a mom. I mean, I love this. You're a mom from Rochester, Michigan. And, I think that this is one of the best parts is, and I think that people need to know this, in that when you have an idea, don't just have the idea. You can bring an idea to life. So, and I told you in this conversation, unlike when I put you on TV and we have 3 minutes, but this is the time. How do you bring an idea to life like that? I mean, that's what's so, I think, important to talk about. You became all of a sudden not just a mom, but a real entrepreneur of, how do you source, and we're gonna, you can talk about what's in the kit right now, but how do you source all the wipes and the face
Yeah.
guards and things like, I wouldn't know how to do that. How did you know how to do that?
Well, just learning. Google is a great reference. Also, I have a great friend network. A lot of moms in my circles, just school moms. There's so many moms out there that are just a wealth of knowledge. I would consult with other people that own their own businesses, what they thought, and if they thought I should do something about it, and kind of how to go about doing that.
And
And
I
I just
love,
ask
and I
people.
think that's what's so important when you're starting a business. Is it a good idea? Well, ask people, is this
Right.
something you would use? Like, on the ground research is really important,
Mhm.
and
Exactly.
again, I say this over and over. It was before COVID. So
Right.
it's not PPE we've all become accustomed to wearing a mask and
Right.
wiping things down. And that was the sort of the PPE story in
Right.
life. But what I love about what you're doing, and let's talk about what's inside the kit,
Yeah.
because you and I have talked about this. It's really lifestyle now. We're venturing out to a movie theater, and I think about an airplane. And yes, they are taking more precautions to keep an airplane clean. And yes, I think they'll take more precautions to keep a movie theater
Right.
clean. However, I've talked to my friends, and you and I have talked about this. The only way to feel good about something being clean is to have it in your control.
Right. To clean it yourself. Yes. But let me, I want to show your
Yeah,
audience a little bit more about my kit so they know exactly what we're talking about, and then explain a little bit more why I did
please.
what I did. So this is our kit. It's called a Healthy Airplane Travel Kit. This is one of my first editions because I developed it just for an airplane.
Yeah.
Um, so it comes in a great zipper pouch, easy, lightweight, throw it on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and right here, it tells you everything that's inside the kit. So I will tell you there's a seat cover, uh, 2 masks, hand wipes, hand sanitizer, and a no nut sticker. And I thought that all these items would be enough to keep me and my space clean and my children's space clean. because you have the seat cover to go over any dirty seat. And I'm not saying dirty, but just germy by nature. You have the tray table cover to go over the table cover. You have hand wipes.
And you still recommend that you wipe it down and then put.
Yes, wipe down the tray table and then put the tray table cover on top for extra protection, because you're putting food on there and your phone and your lipstick or whatever you travel with, or your children's goldfish, you want to make sure it's really clean. Then there's hand wipes, because it's important to wipe down the armrests, the tray table cover, the seat belt buckle that everybody touches. I also wipe down the air vents, so that any air that comes in, it's just got that, clean.
Oh, yeah.
Like a clean rinse before the air comes out, kind of. And then also the airplane window and the window slide that people move up and down. So I thought that this area was covered pretty much for me and my family. I felt good. I also added this not because of anybody in my family, but a no nut sticker, because I would see a lot of families travel with nut allergies, or I have a lot of friends that would be afraid to travel because they're afraid of being contaminated, or the person next to them were going to open up a bag of peanut M&Ms and they're highly allergic. So the sticker you can put on your tray table cover, and then the person next to you hopefully will know, oh, I shouldn't eat peanuts next to this person. And it also helps the flight attendant know, and just brings awareness. So I wanted to do that for my friends as well. But when I first tried out this kit, I thought it was a good idea, and it was filling a need for me and my family and my children. So I knew I was doing a good job for me and my family. But then when I tried out the kit, and I just developed it for myself, the flight attendants would always come up to me and they're like, what do you have? And I go, oh, it's just something I have for myself. They go, no, what do you have? And I said, oh, it's like a secret. They go, no, tell me more. I love this. What is this? I want one. And I would explain to them. They're like, oh my gosh, that is genius. I want one. Where can I buy one? And they go, I want one for my family. We're flying next week on vacation. They wanted one. So then I thought, oh, I really am feeling a need, not just for myself, but for everybody else. So then I knew I was onto something. And then I started producing, making more, to say, well, maybe this is something I can make for everybody. So that's kind of how that all played out. And then also, as you had mentioned, the movie theaters. This was always a thought in my mind as well. Being a mom, and especially raising my kids when they were younger and in grade school, we always worried about when we went to a movie theater too. People and things kids would get lice and from jumping from one chair to the next. And I thought, oh my gosh, I had friends that would bring hoodies and put things over the chair, or put their scarf or a blanket, just because they felt cleaner. So I thought, oh my gosh, this can be great for airplanes. This can be great for movie theaters. So
I want to talk about that, because it really has taken on a life of its own too, in that Seat Sitters is now working with larger companies and universities to cover seats. And I think that's important for national brands to know, that it's not just, it can be a branding opportunity.
Right. Exactly.
So
when I developed this, and I thought, am I going to take time and try to figure all this out, and then, just have one product? And my background is marketing and advertising and interior design. So I like to say it's a perfect blend of everything I've done. And I thought, okay, if I make this, is it going to be enough, or people are over it quickly? And I always thought, I've got to have it be versatile and have product extensions. So then I started thinking, what else, how else can this be used and helpful for people? So I thought, oh, companies can brand it and put, white label it, put their name on it, put their logo on it, that they can help brand their company while providing a great item for people to use and show that how important keeping your space and staying healthy is. So,
And I think that's why, your company, I'm excited, as you know, to represent it, because you and I, when we first talked, I saw it right away as a lifestyle brand. And I say that because we're going to get ourselves out of that PPE feeling. We're going to get back to living life, but we're going to get back to living life. And we need to be safe, and we need to not, I don't want to be a germaphobe. I never
right.
was. I don't want to be one, but I want to get on an airplane and wipe things down now. I want to be educated. I want to be conscious. I want to learn from you. Like you just said, the air vent. And I thought, I just traveled. I didn't do that. I didn't touch it, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And that, like you just educated me on that. So I'm like, I wiped down everything, and the seatbelt and the tray. I didn't have your travel kit, which you need to get me one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I didn't think about the air, and I'm sure people are listening right now, and they didn't think about it. And here's the beauty: it is spring break, people. You are going away, and I have seen, and doing news stories, people are traveling. So don't kid yourself. Seatsitters.com. I know that people are listening and they're thinking, oh, I can just, make my own. No, you can put together, your own wipes and whatever if you think, but you do not have a seat cover.
Right.
You do not have a seat cover that is washable, and I think we need to say that, and a seat tray cover and reusable and washable. That's what we're talking about. And most importantly, this is something you can take with you. You can take control of your feeling in control. That's what Gina and I really had such great length of conversation about with her company and the growth. It's really exciting because this is just going to be a lifestyle. And for those, I guess, one of the things I say is, for those of you out there thinking like, oh, do we have to do this really? We do.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, before the pandemic and when I first started, my thought was when I also have masks in the kit. But pre-pandemic, everybody thought, okay, that's a little over the top, Gina. Like, I'm going to look like a weirdo with a mask on. And I said, no, but it's okay if people don't use it, but I was adamant about putting them in my kit because.
Look how smart you are.
But how often have you sat next to somebody who's coughing? So you thought, I thought you could just put a mask on. Or if you're sick and and you're conscientious and you just don't want to get the person next to you sick, throw on the mask. Yeah. The other thing I thought about, which is kind of funny, is I've sat next to people on airplanes when we were sitting side by side pre-pandemic, people that had bad breath. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I did the whole flight next to this person. Well, then I thought, oh my God.
Oh, you are so funny.
Throw on a mask and you can have that barrier. You don't have to smell.
Well, I think it's just, I think it's so funny because we all are guilty of this, that we would walk through our own airports or train stations or whatever, and we would see some people in a mask, and we would be like, oh, what the heck? Well, let's face it. Now, if we see someone without a mask, we're like, what the heck are they doing? It's the reverse. Like we're like evil eye to the person without a mask, or Facebook. We're like, why are those people all out without a mask on? So,
exactly.
Mask up, people. Like this is the way we are, gonna live. And the truth is, I want to go out and live, and see my friends And even though people are getting vaccinated, that doesn't mean like it's a free for all. We don't know yet. And so I love that you were so ahead of the game. I love smart women.
Thank you.
Um, please let everybody know where they can run out and find seat sitters.
Well, as you mentioned, first, we're on seatsitters.com, and on our website, we have special offers that we might not have on other platforms. So that's a great place to order the kit.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Amazon, and we were voted one of Amazon's best choice products, which we're thrilled to have. We also sell online on Bed Bath and Beyond. They've ordered quite a bit from us before, during, and after the pandemic. So they're a great platform for us. And then also we're in a few select stores in the airport, and we're trying to get a larger base because a lot of our customers are, I want one, but I'm flying tomorrow, and we can't ship it out to them that fast. So we love having other places, like we want to be in all the airport stores so that we could say, okay, grab one right before you hop on a flight, just grab and go.
Well, I got to tell you, the kit itself can go on your shoulder. It can go inside a bag. You know, you can throw it in your car, so it's just with you. But go to seatsitters.com. Gina, I love seeing you and sharing this time with you. As you see this today, please share the link, share the information with your friends. This is, you know, I like to say this is great for traveling, but what I really say is this is great for our new lifestyle. You know, Gina and I've talked about this too. This is an unbelievable graduation gift. And I want to put this out there. Kids who are in high school and are going off to college, I don't care if your grad rolls their eyes at you. Do you want them back home because they got sick? Or do you want them in college going to class next year?
Right.
You guys decide. I think this is a fabulous graduation gift. The price point is phenomenal. I'm pretty sure Bed Bath and Beyond lets you use your 20% off coupon. You know, we all have a stack of them. So, but go to seatsitters.com, Bed Bath and Beyond, Amazon. Stock up on these. These are a great gift. So thank you. I will see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great, amazing day.
Thank you.